Hi, I'm Jenna, owner of the Yogi Nest. We offer alternative and holistic healing through mindful movement and mindset coaching in Los Angeles and online. I'm going to be guiding you through a 4-part trauma series I created that's centered around healing and transforming trauma through Earth's natural elements. This is part 1 of the Healing Trauma Through Natural Elements series, and we'll be focusing on air as a healing element. These meditations will utilize visualization and will also provide some sound healing. Trauma healing can be very triggering and challenging, but I can tell you from personal experience that it's a necessary tool to safely process trauma in a healthy way. My best advice for you as you work your way through this series is to allow feelings to flow freely. This is your body's way of releasing trauma. If at any point your feelings and emotions become too much to handle, try to bring yourself back to your breath, following your inhales and exhales over and over again. Try to remember that you're in a safe space, and these meditations aren't asking anything of you other than for you to be yourself, wherever you are today. If you need to pause or stop the meditation and come back to it, that's fine too. It can also be really helpful to journal about your experience when you've completed or ended the meditation. Writing about your experience and what came up for you both physically and mentally can be incredibly healing. Lastly, be kind, gentle, and patient with yourself. The healing journey is long, but it's worth it. Find a comfortable place to sit or lie down, and let's get started. Once you've found a comfortable place to sit or lie down with little to no distractions, take a moment to observe your surroundings. Now take in the sounds around you. Can you smell anything? Once you're fully familiar with the space around you and you feel safe, close your eyes. You can always come back to these familiar comforts if you get scared or overwhelmed. If it doesn't feel safe to close your eyes, gently turn your gaze down towards the tip of your nose. Start to notice your breath. Is it slow and calm? Is it anxious, short, and fast? What physical sensations are coming up for you? How do you feel mentally? Notice your thoughts and feelings. Now, see if you can slow your breath down. Long inhales and exhales through your nose. Slowing the breath down will make you feel calmer, more peaceful, steady, and in control. Now take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. Do this a few more times. Now come back to normal breathing, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Allow your body to fully relax. Notice if there's anywhere in your body that's holding, gripping, or feels tense. Take your full attention to those places in your body and ask them to let go. See if your inhales and exhales can help your body relax and release. Allow your face and jaw to soften. I know this is hard, but I want you to recall the trauma that brought you to this meditation. I want you to remember the instant it happened, or the moment you got the news, or the moment right after it happened. Hold it gently in your hands like a fragile bird. Just hold it there throughout the meditation, nurturing and protecting it. There's this moment while experiencing trauma or immediately after where you feel almost numb. What just happened? It's a moment of suspension. Time stops. It stands still. The world slows down. Sounds become muted. And you're floating in a world you've never been to before. Where am I? And what just happened? It's like you're floating in the air, being gently tossed around by the wind, feelings and emotions changing like the wind. You're up, you're down, you're high, you're low, you're over here, you're over there, and somehow you're nowhere. You're just floating. You can't make sense of the who, what, where, when, and how, and that's okay. This is a completely normal stage of grief and trauma. The nothingness stage, the numb stage, the floating in the air stage. Imagine yourself here, floating safely in space as you protect and nurture your trauma. Watching it from above as you try to navigate what happened to you. Look around. What do you see? What does it feel like? Are you inside or outside? Is it day or night? Are you warm, cold, or neutral and comfortable? Do you feel scared or oddly safe and protected as you float here, observing from above? This is your moment to make sense of it all with no judgments or expectations, just observing and freely feeling what you need to feel safely from above it all. I remember this stage of healing so clearly. I remember the feeling of being a deer in headlights. I remember the feeling of floating, of being weightless, of being lifted right off my feet and into the air, observing everything from above, from outside, from an alternate universe. Or at least that's what it felt like. But here's the thing about air. It's constantly changing. It never stays the same. It gently lifts dry leaves off the ground, into the air, across the street, into a completely different neighborhood even. But eventually it dies down and the leaf settles wherever the wind has left it. It is here that this leaf will start the next phase of its life. Imagine you're this leaf, and your trauma has picked you up into the air. It held you there, suspended for a period of time. Then it took you over here and then over there, feelings and emotions changing by the second. And then eventually it gently placed you back down. This is where you'll begin your next phase of grief and healing. But for now, just take a moment of gratitude for the period of time in your healing journey when you were just floating, when you were held in the silence of trying to find your footing and some understanding about what happened to you. I'd like you to take a moment to feel the air around you. Is it cold? Is it warm? Neither? Neutral? Is there a breeze? Can you feel it touching your skin, your face, your hair, your arms, your legs? This is the same air that greeted you and protected you when the only thing you needed in that moment was to float above the world as you tried to make sense of where your journey had just taken you and where it would eventually take you next. Your life will ebb and flow, shift and change, just like the wind and air we breathe. Your healing journey will do the same. It will change all the time. But anytime you need to come back to this phase, the floating in the air phase, know that this air that you feel on your skin right now will always be there to help and hold and lift you up and place you back down whenever you need it. Visualize your hands now, holding onto your trauma gently. You've been holding it there throughout the meditation, nurturing and protecting it. I'd like you to open your hands now and release it out into the air, allowing the wind to pick it up and gently place it back down wherever it can freely move on to the next stage of healing. We'll meet it there in part 2 of this series. Now I'd like you to shift your attention back to your breath and notice if it's changed since we started this meditation. Is it calmer and more relaxed? More at ease? Now notice how your body feels compared to when we started. Are there any sensations that are significant to you? Do you feel physically different now than when we started? What about your feelings and emotions? Did anything significant come up for you during this meditation? You might want to jot these things down in your journal when this meditation has been completed. To close this meditation, I'd like you to take a few deep breaths. Nice, big, cleansing inhales through the nose, and then exhale everything that feels painful and heavy out of the mouth. Inhale strength and exhale anything that is no longer serving you. Inhale courage and exhale feelings and emotions that are weighing you down. Now return to normal breathing, inhaling and exhaling through your nose. You're amazing. You're strong. You're worthy. You matter. Your story matters. And the world needs your wisdom. Try to turn your painful experiences into a powerful support system for those around you who have been hurt too. In supporting others, you're supporting yourself as well. Your story could save someone else's life. Bring some small movements back into your fingers and toes and gently open your eyes. I'll see you back here for part 2 of the Healing Trauma Through Natural Elements series, where we'll be processing the fire stage of healing. Thank you so much for meditating with me today. I'd love to know how this went for you, so please leave me a message and let me know if there are any meditation requests that you think would be helpful for you. Take care.